Hey everyone, Andrew Reynolds from FindYourFuels.com once again to be of help to you. Today we're going to talk about being a delightful disruptor. Now, being an entrepreneur myself and working with other entrepreneurs, whether they're just building their career or building a business, a lot of us become very excited thinking we're the first ones to the party. We've got an idea that will turn the industry on its head and we're going to be right there at the cusp to reap the profit and be of best service to the world around us. But many times those kinds of applications, those kinds of industries, those kinds of products are usually called disruptors because they kind of shake the industry at its core. And it sounds like it has a lot of sizzle, it sounds like it has a lot of appeal, but we really should understand what that process is like in being a disruptor. First and foremost, as we've mentioned in previous videos, disruption involves change. Even if you have good change, it's bad change initially. If you got a leaky pipe, sometimes they'll have to tear off the whole wall to find the problem. If you have a sore tooth, they might have to, inject you with a needle and drill. The after effects are good and worthwhile, but the process of change is always painful. So realize that disruption means change means stress and bad. Also, disruption can mean a little bit of humiliation. Let's say that I am counseling you at your business and I look over what you're doing as far as selecting and retaining and building talent, and it's pretty clear that you've been using a very bad system that doesn't tell you what you need to know, and the advice they gave you was very bad to follow. That can be a really difficult pill to swallow, and a little bit of humility will have to come along the way to say, you know what, I did the best with what I could, with what I had, but it was a bad idea. So I'm going to have to swallow that bitter pill and move on from here to affect the new good change. So if you are getting the feeling that this is kind of be the experience of the people you're interacting with, there are two things that can really help you smooth out that process to be that delightful disruptor. First off, be as indirect and almost as anonymous as you can. Let's put as much distance between the idea and the people who are effective as much as possible. If I'm standing in front of you and your coworkers and I tell you you're wrong, it's humiliating. If I tell you in person with no one else around that you're wrong, it's humiliating. Now let's say we'll put some distance between us. Let's say I'm up on stage in front of 1,000 people and you're there with your coworkers and they can gather that you're wrong because of what I'm saying. That's humiliating. But if we can not only remove ourselves from the person we're talking, but remove them from the people who are listening, there's something good there. Because if you're watching this video and you're realizing that there's some humble pie you have to eat and no one's around, you're much more likely to accept the information. So space not only between you and your person you're communicating with, but space between those who might be affected by their decisions is one of the best ways to help your idea get across, if it is new and disruptive. And the second thing besides space is time. Even if you're watching this on a video, and even if you swallow that humble pie and say, you know what, I was wrong, it's going to take time. Because you're not going to show up the next day and present your information and say, hey guys, good news, I was wrong. You're going to go back over the thoughts and, okay, I was taught this, yeah, that wasn't really right, and I experienced this and it kind of makes sense. You're going to need time to feel confident in your new presentation, because if you're humiliating yourself a little bit by admitting you're wrong, you better have an appropriate level of confidence to build yourself back up. So once again, if you feel that your product or your service is somewhat disruptive, it's going to throw something on its head, give the people who are going to be making that decision space and time. Hope that's been of help. Keep making the world a better place, disruptions aside. See you next week. Like, share, subscribe as always. Always appreciate it on our end. We'll see you soon.